What if you stopped working for money and started making money work for you? What if every dollar you earned could become a soldier, building your freedom, your future, and your legacy? The truth is, the rich don't work harder. They work smarter. They build systems, not paychecks. They turn income into assets and assets into independence. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Most people spend their entire lives chasing paychecks, only to realize too late that their money never learned how to multiply. This audiobook, 7 Ways to Make Money Work for You, will open your eyes to the truth about financial freedom. It's not about how much you make, it's about how wisely you use it. You'll discover simple, powerful, and proven methods that the wealthy use daily to grow their money even while they rest. As Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Your money should serve your goals, not your fears. This is not theory. It's a roadmap that turns your income into income-producing assets, your ideas into cash flow, and your discipline into wealth. Don't work for money. Make it work for you. If you're ready to escape financial stress and build real independence, stay till the end of this audiobook. Like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful audiobooks that will change the way you think about money forever. Smart people make money once and then let it make money forever.
The way number 1. Build assets that pay you, not liabilities that drain you. Quote, "The rich buy assets. The poor and middle class buy liabilities they think are assets. If your money is not working for you while you sleep, you are not building wealth. You are maintaining expenses." The difference between the rich and the poor is not intelligence. It is understanding how money moves. The rich know that assets feed them, while liabilities drain them. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability quietly takes it out. It does not matter how much you earn. If you continue to buy things that depreciate in value and require you to work harder to maintain them, you will stay stuck in the same cycle forever. The moment you shift your mindset from consuming to accumulating, everything changes. Real wealth is not about having more possessions. It is about owning income-producing tools that make you more valuable and financially free over time. The world is designed to make you a spender. Advertisements, trends, and social pressure push you toward buying the latest phone, the newest car, or a bigger house. But every time you give in, you are trading long-term freedom for short-term satisfaction. The poor and middle class buy things that make them look rich. The rich buy things that make them richer. As Robert Kiyosaki said, "The rich buy assets. The poor and middle class buy liabilities they think are assets." That quote is the foundation of financial independence. The reason most people never escape their financial struggles is because they never learn the difference between what feeds their bank account and what empties it. If you want to make money work for you, you must first understand the flow of cash. Every dollar that comes into your life has 2 possible paths. It can either grow or die. When you buy an asset, you give that dollar the power to multiply. When you buy a liability, you kill its potential. It really is that simple. The rich treat every dollar like an employee. They ask, "Where will I assign this money so it brings back more?" The poor ask, "What can I buy with this?" This difference in mindset creates completely different outcomes. If you spend 10 years buying assets that produce cash flow, you will eventually have money working for you. If you spend 10 years buying liabilities, you will be working for your bills. An asset can take many forms. It can be real estate that pays you rent every month, dividend-paying stocks that deposit money into your account, or a small business that grows without your constant effort. Even intellectual property, like an online course, an e-book, or a YouTube channel, can become a digital asset that earns while you sleep. The key is ownership. You must own something that produces cash flow. For example, if you buy a small apartment and rent it, that property not only increases in value over time, but also provides you with monthly income. The same $50,000 that could buy a fancy car could instead buy an asset that generates $500 a month. 10 years later, the car will be worth almost nothing. But the property will likely have doubled in value and earned tens of thousands in rent. That is the difference between buying status and buying freedom. Liabilities are the silent killers of wealth. They are the beautiful traps that make you feel successful while quietly draining your potential. Your car, your credit card debt, your unnecessary subscriptions, and your impulsive purchases all fall into this category. They make you look good in the short term, but enslave you in the long term. Every liability you add to your life becomes another chain around your time. You begin to work not because you want to, but because you must. And when you must work to survive, you have lost control. Freedom begins when your money starts replacing your labor. Building assets requires patience and discipline. It is not exciting in the beginning because results are slow. You may invest in a small stock portfolio, buy your first rental property, or start a side business that earns only a few dollars a day. But over time, those small streams of income merge into rivers. Compounding is the invisible force that builds empires. A person who consistently reinvests their earnings into more assets will one day wake up to find that their money now works harder than they ever did. The key is consistency, not luck. Most people never see compounding work because they stop too early or spend their profits too soon. The rich let their assets mature. The poor cash out at the first sign of gain. Another powerful habit of wealthy individuals is measuring cash flow before making any financial decision. Before buying anything, they ask one question: will this put money into my pocket or take it out? This simple test separates productive purchases from destructive ones. For example, instead of buying a new $1,000 phone, you could invest that money in dividend-paying stocks that yield 8% annually. That means your money would earn $80 a year without you doing anything. In a few years, the returns from your investments could pay for that same phone without touching your principal. That is what it means to make money work for you. In contrast, the average person spends everything they earn on consumption. They buy the latest gadgets, designer clothes, and fancy cars, all financed through credit. Their income goes straight to paying off debt and maintaining appearances. They look successful, but behind the scenes, they are trapped in a cycle of dependency. They work to pay bills, not to build wealth. The tragedy is that most people never realize how close they are to freedom. By redirecting just a small percentage of their income into assets each month, they could eventually replace their job with passive income. But because they lack patience and financial education, they remain stuck. If you truly want financial freedom, you must rewire your mindset. Stop measuring wealth by what you own and start measuring it by what works for you. A person with $1,000 in monthly passive income has more freedom than someone who earns $10,000 a month but needs every dollar to survive. Freedom is not about luxury. It is about choice. The ability to wake up and decide how to spend your day without worrying about bills is the highest form of wealth. Every asset you build brings you closer to that freedom. Building assets also requires awareness and courage. You must resist the pressure to fit into society's definition of success. While others chase trends, you must chase ownership. While others spend on consumption, you must spend on creation. When you choose to build assets, you choose long-term power over short-term pleasure. You must learn to say no to instant gratification. Every time you delay a purchase to invest, you are planting a seed for your financial forest. That seed may take years to grow, but when it does, it will feed you for life. The journey from spender to investor begins with one decision: to make money your servant, not your master. Start small. Buy your first share, create your first digital product, or invest in your first piece of property. Track every cent and understand where it flows. Build systems that multiply your efforts, not your expenses. And most importantly, never stop learning. The greatest asset you will ever own is your mind. Once you understand how money works, you will never be controlled by it again. Every dollar you touch has a destiny. You can waste it on things that fade or assign it to work for your future. The rich are not lucky. They are disciplined. They know that money is not meant to be spent aimlessly. It is meant to be multiplied. So, the next time you earn, do not ask how you can spend it. Ask how you can make it work. Let your money become your silent employee, working tirelessly in the background while you focus on building your life. Because the truth is simple. Until your money works for you, you will always work for it. The way number 2. Invest in real estate. Rental income. Quote, 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. Real estate is not just about owning property. It is about owning control over your financial destiny. When you invest in real estate, you are not merely buying land or walls. You are buying time, leverage, and long-term freedom. Real estate is the only investment where your asset can earn for you while others pay it off. It produces passive income, builds equity, and appreciates in value over time. The power of rental income lies in its consistency. Month after month, rent flows into your account, and while that happens, your property's value often increases silently in the background. You are earning in 2 directions, from the cash flow and from appreciation. That is why Andrew Carnegie said that 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. The system works because real estate obeys simple but powerful rules: location, demand, and time. If you want to make money work for you, you must understand how to make property work. The average person thinks buying a home is a dream. The wealthy know that buying the right property is a vehicle to freedom. Every property you own should have a purpose: to generate cash flow, appreciate in value, or both. Rental income is the backbone of financial independence because it is recurring and scalable. You can increase your portfolio by acquiring one property at a time. You do not need to start big. Many investors began with a single small apartment, rented it out, reinvested the profits, and built empires over decades. The key is consistency and patience. You must focus on cash flow, not speculation. Buying a property and waiting for prices to rise is gambling. Buying a property that pays you every month is strategy. Real estate also allows you to use leverage intelligently. Banks will lend you money for property because it is a tangible, stable asset. You can control a large property with a small down payment, and your tenants will essentially pay the loan for you. For example, if you buy a property worth $200,000 with a $40,000 down payment and rent it for $1,500 per month, that rent covers the mortgage, the taxes, and still leaves profit. Every payment from your tenant increases your ownership stake. Over 10 or 20 years, you will own the property completely, and its value will have likely doubled or tripled. You did not work for that growth. Time and leverage did the work for you. That is how money begins to serve you. One of the greatest advantages of real estate is appreciation. Unlike cars, furniture, or gadgets that lose value every day, real estate grows in value if chosen wisely. The longer you hold it, the more valuable it becomes. Even when markets fluctuate, property in good locations rarely loses long-term value. Cities expand, populations grow, and land becomes scarce. This natural scarcity pushes prices higher. When you own a piece of land, you own a piece of the future. Real estate is not a short-term game. It is about vision and endurance. Every great investor understands that wealth is built slowly through compound growth and smart acquisitions. The property you buy today may seem modest, but with time, rent increases, the mortgage decreases, and your equity grows automatically. The key to success in real estate is understanding the fundamentals. Location is everything. A well-located small apartment in a growing city can outperform a large property in a declining area. Look for areas near jobs, schools, transport, and infrastructure projects. People follow opportunity, and opportunity raises demand. Demand raises rent, and rent raises your income. Management is equally important. Owning property is not passive if you neglect it. You must screen tenants, maintain the property, and handle repairs promptly. Good management protects your cash flow and keeps your tenants long-term. You can manage it yourself or hire a property manager to handle the day-to-day tasks. The small fee they charge is nothing compared to the time and peace of mind you gain. Another advantage of real estate is tax efficiency. In many countries, you can deduct mortgage interest, maintenance expenses, and depreciation from your taxable income. That means you pay less tax while your property continues to earn for you. Real estate also protects against inflation. As prices rise, rents typically increase, and so does the value of your property. This makes real estate one of the most powerful tools to preserve and grow wealth in an uncertain economy. When inflation eats away at cash, property stands firm. It is a physical, enduring asset that holds real value. Real estate is also flexible. You can rent short-term on platforms like Airbnb or long-term to stable tenants. You can renovate and flip properties for profit or buy land and develop it. The strategies are endless, but the principles remain the same. Buy smart, manage well, and think long-term. Some investors start by renting a spare room in their own home. Others buy duplexes, live in one side, and rent the other. This method, known as house hacking, reduces living costs while building equity. Over time, you can scale into larger properties, commercial buildings, or even real estate investment trusts, REITs, which allow you to own shares in large property portfolios without direct management. The mistake most people make is believing that real estate is only for the rich. The truth is, it is how people become rich. With discipline, research, and patience, anyone can start. The difference between a consumer and an investor is mindset. A consumer buys a house to live in and sees it as an expense. An investor buys a house to rent out and sees it as a tool. Your first goal is to acquire an income-generating asset. Your second goal is to let time multiply it. Do not get emotionally attached to properties. Treat them as vehicles for freedom. Real estate teaches powerful lessons about patience, decision-making, and control. It forces you to think long-term. The market may rise or fall, but your rent checks keep coming. That consistency builds confidence and stability. Over years, your portfolio becomes a personal empire, a collection of assets that pay you month after month. That is financial independence in action. You no longer trade your time for money. Your properties do it for you. Real estate gives you options to retire early, travel, or start new ventures. The secret to success is simple, but requires discipline. Always buy below market value when possible. Always ensure the property generates positive cash flow. Always reinvest your profits into new opportunities. The first property is the hardest, the second is easier, and by the third, you understand the rhythm. Your money began to multiply itself. In a world obsessed with quick riches, real estate rewards those who play the long game. It demands patience, but it pays in security, stability, and freedom. When you build your foundation on property, you build on something real. Stocks can crash, currencies can lose value, but land remains. It produces, it appreciates, and it sustains. So stop working only for money and start owning things that make money work for you. Buy assets that create income. Think like an investor, not a spender. Every rent check, every appreciation in value, every year that passes, these are your employees working for your financial freedom. The rich are not different because of luck. They are different because they understand leverage and patience. Money will never work for you if you keep it idle. But when you place it in real estate, you give it a job, a mission, and a purpose. It works every day, every night, and every year, building your empire silently. Real estate is not a get-rich-quick plan. It is a stay-rich-forever strategy. Those who understand this principle never chase money again. They own systems that produce it. That is the power of real estate, and that is how you make money work for you. The way number 3. Create digital assets that earn 24/7. Digital assets are the new machines of wealth. They work when you sleep, they grow when you rest, and they compound without limits. Most people still trade their time for money, trapped in a system where income stops the moment they stop working. But those who understand digital leverage know a different truth. When you create something valuable online, you separate your time from your income forever. That is the moment you escape financial gravity. The digital world offers a playground of endless opportunity, where creativity, consistency, and courage turn into cash flow that never sleeps. Whether you build an online course, launch an e-book, or create a YouTube channel, you are no longer selling hours. You are selling value that can be delivered automatically, globally, and endlessly. The first step to building digital assets is understanding the power of leverage. One piece of content can reach thousands, even millions, with the same effort it takes to reach one person. A single video, once uploaded, can continue earning ad revenue for years. A course you create once can sell forever with no additional labor. A blog post written with depth and clarity can rank on Google and attract readers and clients while you're busy living your life. This is how the new rich think. They don't chase more hours. They create more leverage. They design systems that multiply their impact, not their workload. The internet rewards those who produce, not those who consume. Building digital assets is not about luck or going viral overnight. It is about consistency and craftsmanship. You start small, maybe writing one article a week, filming short educational videos, or designing templates people need. Over time, your digital footprint becomes your greatest asset. Each piece of content you produce becomes a soldier that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never complains, it never gets tired, and it never asks for a paycheck. Your job is to create, refine, and expand. Every word, video, and design becomes part of your invisible workforce, your army of income. The beauty of digital assets lies in scalability. In traditional business, scaling means hiring more people, opening new locations, or spending more time. In digital business, scaling is infinite. When you create a product online, One person can buy it, or 1 million can buy it, and your effort remains the same. This is the power of the digital economy. You can be sitting in your home while your product is purchased in New York, London, and Tokyo at the same time. It is the closest thing to financial immortality the modern world has ever created. However, digital wealth demands patience and persistence. Most people quit before their work compounds. They upload 5 videos, write 3 blog posts, or launch 1 product and give up when results are slow. But those who understand the long game know that digital assets are like seeds. They take time to grow roots before breaking the surface. A YouTube channel may take a year to gain traction, but once it does, the algorithm continues to promote it. A blog may take months to rank, but once it does, it can attract traffic for decades. The key is to stay consistent long enough for your work to start working for you. Automation is the next critical step. Once you create a digital asset, you must design systems that handle the repetitive tasks. Email marketing software can sell your products automatically while you sleep. Payment processors deliver your digital files instantly to buyers. Advertising platforms drive new visitors to your content every day. The more you automate, the freer you become. Digital automation is like cloning yourself, allowing your business to run without your constant involvement. The goal is not to work more, but to build a system that works more than you do. Let's look at practical examples. Imagine you are a fitness coach. Instead of training 1 client at a time, you record a 12-week workout program and sell it online. Thousands can join the same program without requiring any more of your time. Or you are a writer. You can publish an e-book once, and every download is new income without new effort. If you are a teacher, record video lessons and host them on a learning platform like Udemy or Teachable. Each student who enrolls becomes passive income. These are not theories. They are realities being lived by millions worldwide. The only difference between those earning from digital assets and those who are not is action. Digital assets also build credibility. When people discover your content online, they see you as an authority. Authority attracts attention, and attention attracts income. The more value you provide, the more the marketplace rewards you. This is why creators and educators dominate the digital space. They build trust through free content, then monetize through premium offers. The best part is, your expertise becomes your product. You no longer have to convince people to buy. Your work speaks for you long after you stop speaking. Another advantage of digital assets is freedom of location. You can manage your income from anywhere with a laptop and Wi-Fi. No boss, no schedule, no ceiling. You design your life around your priorities instead of someone else's deadlines. The internet has democratized opportunity. You do not need to be famous, rich, or well-connected to start. All you need is a clear message, a skill to share, and the discipline to show up every day. The digital economy does not care where you come from. It only cares about what you can create. To succeed in this space, focus on solving real problems. The most profitable digital assets serve human needs: knowledge, time, convenience, and emotion. People pay for solutions that make life easier or better. A budgeting spreadsheet that saves hours of planning, an e-book that simplifies investing, a course that teaches photography. These are all digital assets that can generate income for years. The more value you provide, the stronger your earning potential. Remember, digital wealth is a reflection of digital impact. The mindset is simple but powerful. Build once, earn forever. The poor work for income that disappears every month. The wealthy build systems that generate income even when they stop working. Each digital asset you create is a step away from dependence and a step toward freedom. It is your ticket out of the trap of time for money. Your creativity becomes your capital. Your consistency becomes your currency, and your results become your legacy. Digital assets never sleep. They operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never ask for time off. The question is, are you building any? Because the world is shifting faster than ever. Traditional jobs are unstable. Inflation erodes savings, and competition for high-paying positions grows every year. The only sustainable way forward is ownership. Ownership of systems, skills, and platforms that pay you long after the work is done. The digital era is not coming. It is already here. Those who learn to build within it will thrive. Those who ignore it will struggle to survive. So take this seriously. Stop wasting your potential scrolling and start building. Record your knowledge, package your skill, share your story, and turn your passion into profit. You don't need permission, and you don't need perfection. You need persistence. Every upload, every post, every product is another step toward independence. One day, your digital empire will run itself, generating income while you live life on your terms. Remember the quote, "Build once, earn forever." That is not just a line. It is a blueprint. The future belongs to the creators, the doers, and the disciplined. Make your digital assets your legacy. Let them work while you sleep, earn while you grow, and secure the freedom that can only be built by those who had the courage to start. The way number 4. Reinvest your profits instead of spending them. Quote, "Poor people spend their profits. Rich people reinvest them." Most people make the fatal mistake of thinking that profits are a reward to spend. They see extra money and instantly start imagining the vacation, the new phone, the fancy watch, or the upgraded car. This mindset is the reason why the majority of people stay stuck at the same level for decades. The wealthy, on the other hand, understand a simple but powerful law. Money must always stay in motion. Money that is spent disappears forever, but money that is reinvested multiplies. Every time you take profit from your work or business, you face a choice: consume or grow. The poor consume, the rich grow. The difference between the two is discipline. The poor reward themselves too early. The rich delay gratification long enough to expand their empire. When your business or investment produces a return, that is not the moment to relax. It is the moment to push further. Reinvestment is the fuel that transforms a small venture into a giant operation. If your business earns $5,000 in profit, do not see it as income. See it as capital. Capital is the seed that grows the next forest. Use it to buy better tools, invest in better marketing, expand your product line, or hire talent that increases productivity. Every reinvested dollar creates another soldier fighting for your financial freedom. Those who spend their profits build memories. Those who reinvest them build empires. Compounding is the invisible engine behind every fortune. It is not just about money. It is about momentum. When you reinvest, you allow your capital to reproduce. $1 creates another, and another, and another, until your money works harder than you ever could. This is how wealth becomes inevitable. A person who reinvests every profit for 5 years will achieve what others cannot reach in 20. Compounding rewards patience and punishes greed. The ones who withdraw too soon kill their own momentum. The ones who stay consistent watch their wealth grow exponentially. Reinvestment also builds resilience. Businesses that reinvest profits are stronger during tough times because they have assets, systems, and reserves. The companies that collapse first in an economic downturn are usually the ones that distributed or spent every profit they made. In contrast, the disciplined ones, those who continuously reinvest, survive, and even expand while everyone else is shrinking. The same applies to individuals. A person who constantly reinvests in learning, skills, and tools always stays ahead of the curve. Reinvestment is not only financial, it is intellectual and emotional. Every time you choose growth over pleasure, you are reinvesting in your future self. Imagine two entrepreneurs starting at the same time. The first one takes every bit of profit and spends it on lifestyle upgrades, a new car, better clothes, expensive dinners. The second one reinvests every dollar back into the business. After 3 years, the first entrepreneur looks successful, but has nothing that grows without him. The second one has a system, a team, and assets that generate income even when he sleeps. The first one lives for appearances. The second one builds for freedom. This is why wealth is not an accident. It is the predictable result of disciplined reinvestment. Reinvesting your profits also forces you to think long-term. When you spend money, you think about the next week. When you reinvest money, you think about the next decade. That shift in thinking changes your behavior completely. You stop chasing quick wins and start building lasting foundations. The rich do not chase money. They chase momentum. They understand that today's reinvestment builds tomorrow's security. They are patient because they know growth is a process, not an event. Money, when directed with intelligence, behaves like a living organism. It grows, reproduces, and evolves. But when neglected or wasted, it dies silently. Many people say they want financial freedom, but few have the patience and discipline it requires. Reinvesting profits means delaying personal gratification. It means driving the same car for another year, saying no to unnecessary luxuries, and choosing growth over comfort. It is not glamorous in the short term, but in the long term, it creates unshakable power. As the quote says, "Poor people spend their profits. Rich people reinvest them." The wealthy understand that profit is not for celebration, it is for multiplication. Every great business story follows this same principle. Apple reinvested profits into research and innovation. Amazon reinvested for years before making a profit, focusing on dominance instead of immediate pleasure. Investors like Warren Buffett never spend their returns. They reinvest them to let compounding do the work. This is not luck or genius, it is a system. You can apply the same rule in your own life. If your salary increases, do not raise your lifestyle. Raise your investments. If your business grows, do not inflate your spending. Strengthen your systems. Use profit as energy to power your next move. Reinvestment also transforms your mindset. It shifts your relationship with money from consumer to creator. When you spend, money controls you. When you reinvest, you control money. You stop seeing money as a prize and start seeing it as a tool. That shift gives you a new sense of power. You become strategic instead of impulsive. You start making moves with purpose, not emotion. And that is how financial mastery begins, not by earning more, but by using what you earn intelligently. Even small reinvestments can make a big difference. You do not need millions to begin. If you make $1,000, invest $200 in improving your skills, $200 in marketing, and $200 in assets that generate income. The habit matters more than the amount. Over time, those small steps compound into extraordinary results. Remember, compounding only works if you stay consistent. Interrupting the process resets your progress. Every time you spend profits instead of reinvesting them, you are starting from zero again. Consistency is the foundation of wealth. When you commit to reinvesting your profits, you begin to see money differently. It stops being a fleeting reward and becomes a lifelong ally. You no longer chase instant pleasure. You chase exponential growth. This is what separates financial winners from financial victims. Winners think in decades, victims think in weekends. Winners plant, victims consume. Winners reinvest, victims celebrate. The mindset determines the outcome. Your goal is to make your money reproduce faster than you can spend it. You want to reach the point where your investments cover your lifestyle completely. That only happens when you have a reinvestment habit strong enough to build unstoppable compounding. Money should never sit idle. It should move, grow, and multiply, always working harder than you do. Spending destroys momentum. Reinvestment multiplies it. Every time you earn a profit, remind yourself, this is not the finish line. This is the fuel for the next phase. The principle is timeless and universal. Farmers do not eat all their harvest. They save seeds for the next season. Investors do not spend all their returns. They reinvest for bigger returns. Entrepreneurs do not take all the profit. They reinvest to grow their reach. This law of reinvestment applies to every area of life. The more you put back into your system, the stronger it becomes. The more you feed your growth, the more your growth feeds you. If you truly want to make money work for you, stop treating profit as an end point. Profit is not the destination. It is the beginning of the next level. The wealthy never see profit as spending money. They see it as opportunity. They never say, "I made it." They say, "What's next?" Because wealth is built through momentum, not moments. Every reinvested dollar is a step toward independence. Every delayed purchase is an investment in power. Every time you choose growth over consumption, you build another foundation for your financial freedom. Reinvestment is not a suggestion. It is the only proven path to sustainable wealth. Those who master it escape the cycle of work, earn, and spend. Those who ignore it stay trapped forever. In the end, your profits are your greatest test. They reveal your mindset. Will you spend them to look rich, or reinvest them to become rich? The answer determines your future. Wealth is not about luck or inheritance. It is about using your profits with intelligence and patience. Reinvest with purpose, stay consistent, and let time do its work. Because every great fortune began with one simple decision: to reinvest instead of spend. The way number 5. Rent or share what you own. Everything you own has value, but most people never realize how much of their wealth is sleeping right in front of them. They buy things, use them for a short time, and then let them sit idle, collecting dust while draining their bank accounts through maintenance, storage, and depreciation. The truth is simple. If something you own is not earning you money, it is quietly costing you. The modern world has created a new opportunity, a powerful shift known as the sharing economy. It's the idea that what you already own can be shared, rented, or monetized to generate income without working more hours. The wealthy understand this truth deeply. They see every possession as an asset, not just an object. They use creativity and systems to make their possessions pay them instead of drain them. Your car is not just a vehicle. It is a potential business. Platforms like Turo allow people to rent out their cars when they're not using them, earning hundreds or even thousands of dollars a month from something that would otherwise sit idle in a garage. This isn't theory. It's happening every day. People who once saw their vehicles as liabilities are now turning them into cash-flowing machines. The difference is mindset. One person sees a car as a cost, another sees it as a tool for income. The same is true for your home. Spare rooms can be rented on Airbnb. Empty properties can become monthly rental assets. Even a parking space in the right location can earn steady, passive income. This is how the wealthy think. They do not let anything sit unused. They squeeze value from every corner of their lives. The sharing economy is not just about physical objects. It's about using creativity to leverage underutilized resources. Do you own tools or equipment that others could use? You could rent them out. Have you mastered a skill that others want to learn? You can share it through online tutoring, digital courses, or workshops. Even your time and expertise can be monetized when used strategically. The goal is to make every resource, physical, digital, or intellectual, productive. You do not need to own a factory to build wealth. You just need to look around and realize that your assets are already waiting to work for you. Many people make the mistake of thinking that income must come from their job or business alone. But your job is only one channel. The most powerful form of wealth comes when your possessions start earning without your constant effort. When you rent what you already own, you shift from consumer to creator. You turn sunk costs into cash flow. For example, a photographer who owns expensive camera gear but uses it only once a month could rent it to other creators through peer-to-peer rental platforms. A family with a backyard could host small events or photo sessions. A homeowner with an unused basement could convert it into a studio or small office for rent. These actions may seem small, but when multiplied over time, they can cover bills, fund investments, and accelerate financial independence. Money rewards creativity and efficiency. In today's world, there is no excuse for letting things sit idle. The internet has made access easy. There are marketplaces for everything: cars, rooms, tools, furniture, storage space, even clothes. Every time you allow something you own to sit unused, you lose an opportunity to earn. Every time you put it to work, you create leverage. Wealth is not always about working harder. It's about making what you already have more productive. The average person complains about not having enough money, but never thinks about the hidden value locked in their own possessions. Renting or sharing what you own is also a mindset of sustainability and intelligence. Instead of constantly buying more, you maximize what you already have. You move from a mindset of ownership to one of utilization. The rich understand that true wealth is not in accumulation, but in function. An asset that sits idle is a burden. An asset that circulates creates value. When you let your possessions earn money, you extend their purpose. You give them a second life and turn waste into wealth. This principle applies not only to individuals, but also to businesses. Smart entrepreneurs are learning to lease their equipment, sublet office space, or share digital infrastructure with others. A company that owns a delivery van can rent it out during off hours. A photographer can rent studio space during downtime. A restaurant with unused space can host private events. The idea is to make sure nothing you own stays idle. Movement creates money, and stillness drains it. The real key is awareness. Start by making an inventory of what you own, every valuable thing you possess. Ask yourself, is this item making me money, or is it costing me money? If it's the latter, find a way to change that. Technology has made this easier than ever. You don't need permission to start. You only need initiative. Within days, you can list your spare space on a rental site, upload your equipment to a sharing platform, or market your skills online. The results may surprise you. A few extra dollars a day can compound into thousands over a year. And as you build multiple small streams of income, you begin to experience the power of money working for you, not the other way around. There's also a deeper psychological benefit to this principle. When you turn your possessions into productive assets, you shift from a mindset of consumption to one of creation. You begin to see the world differently. You stop seeing things as just objects and start seeing them as opportunities. Your car is no longer just transportation. It's an asset. Your home is not just a living space. It's a financial tool. Even your time and energy can be leveraged for growth. The moment you realize that everything you own can generate value, you start thinking like an investor instead of a spender. Think about it. The sharing economy has already created thousands of millionaires who simply understood this principle. Airbnb hosts, Turo car owners, freelancers renting equipment. They all started small, but they applied one universal rule. Use what you have to earn what you want. You do not need massive capital or advanced degrees to begin. You just need awareness, creativity, and execution. As the quote says, if it's not earning, it's costing. Let that phrase guide how you look at your life and finances. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the ones who own the most things. They are the ones who make the most out of what they own. They view every possession as a potential stream of income, every skill as a potential source of value, and every moment as a potential opportunity. This mindset separates those who are financially free from those who stay stuck. You can either let your belongings drain your wallet, or you can let them refill it. The choice is yours. If you want financial freedom, stop chasing new things and start using the ones you already have. The power of wealth lies in utilization. The world doesn't reward those who own the most. It rewards those who make the most out of what they own. The sharing economy is here, and those who adapt will thrive. Rent what you don't use. Share what you already have. Monetize your knowledge, your space, your possessions. Every small stream of income counts, and every productive asset brings you closer to independence. Financial freedom begins when your money and your possessions start working without you. When you wake up to see that your assets earned while you slept, you'll understand the true meaning of wealth. Don't let your possessions sleep while you work. Make them work for you. Make every dollar, every asset, every skill part of your financial army. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary results. This is how you make money truly work for you. The way number 6, diversify. Don't keep all money in one place. Quote, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification is not a cliché. It is a survival strategy in the world of money. The truth is simple and brutal. If all your wealth depends on one source, one employer, one market, or one idea, you are exposed to destruction. The wealthy understand that life is uncertain, economies shift, and industries collapse without warning. Those who rise financially are not the ones who avoid risk completely, but the ones who learn how to spread it intelligently. Diversification is not about fear. It is about foresight. It is about protecting your wealth from the unpredictable storms that wipe out those who believe things will never change. You must understand that the economy moves in cycles. One day, real estate may be booming. The next day, the stock market may be on fire. And 6 months later, everything may crash together. But if your money is strategically distributed across several baskets, you will always have something standing strong while the other sectors are recovering. This is why the rich never depend on a single flow of income or a single asset class. They diversify across industries, currencies, and time horizons. They don't just hope for stability, they build it. When you rely on one paycheck, one business, or one investment, you are walking on financial thin ice. The world can change overnight. A global crisis, a new law, or a market disruption can erase years of effort. The COVID-19 pandemic proved that nothing is guaranteed. Businesses closed, jobs vanished, and entire industries collapsed. But those who had multiple income streams and diversified investments not only survived, they thrived. They had real estate generating rent, stocks producing dividends, digital ventures earning income online, and emergency savings ready for the unexpected. This is not luck. It is deliberate preparation. Diversification is the art of balance. It is not about owning everything, but owning enough of the right things to create financial stability. For example, someone might allocate 40% of their wealth to real estate, 30% to stocks, 20% to a business, and 10% to savings or emergency reserves. This structure allows flexibility. If the housing market drops, the stock portfolio or business income can compensate. If the business slows down, real estate rent or dividends keep the cash flow alive. No single event can destroy all sources at once, because the financial structure is spread wide and balanced intelligently. Real diversification goes beyond investments. It includes skills, geography, and even mindset. A financially wise person does not just diversify their money, they diversify their abilities. They learn different skills that can produce income in different ways. They don't rely solely on one job or one client. They also understand that diversification can be geographical, investing in assets across countries or holding multiple currencies to protect against inflation or currency devaluation. The goal is simple. Never be in a position where one decision, one policy, or one crisis can end your financial security. Let's look at practical examples. A man working a 9-to-5 job saves consistently and starts buying dividend-paying stocks. Over time, he invests in a rental property that produces passive income. Later, he starts a small e-commerce business online. Now he has 3 income streams: salary, rent, and online sales. If he loses his job, his rent and digital income still support him. This is diversification in real life. Another example. A woman invests 50% of her savings in real estate, 30% in index funds, 10% in crypto, and 10% in cash reserves. When the market crashes, her real estate still pays her rent. When property prices stagnate, her stocks grow. When inflation rises, crypto hedges her losses. Each asset serves a purpose. Diversification also helps with peace of mind. Financial stress often comes from overexposure. When all your money sits in one place, every small drop in value feels like a personal attack. You check prices daily, panic over small losses, and live in fear. But when your investments are diversified, no single dip can destroy your confidence. You can afford to wait, to breathe, and to think clearly. It gives you the emotional stability to make smart decisions instead of desperate ones. And emotional stability is one of the rarest assets in the financial world. However, diversification is not about scattering money randomly. It requires intelligence, research, and purpose. Blind diversification, investing in everything without understanding, is chaos, not strategy. You must know why you are investing in each category. Real estate provides long-term appreciation and cash flow. Stocks offer liquidity and growth potential. Businesses provide active income and leverage. Savings offer security and stability. Each piece serves a specific role in the overall structure. Together, they create a fortress. Many people make the mistake of thinking diversification means owning hundreds of small investments. It does not. True diversification means having exposure to different asset classes, not different names. Owning 10 tech stocks is not diversification. It's concentration in one sector. Owning one property, a few ETFs, and a small digital business is real diversification. You are spreading your risk across sectors, not duplicating it. The goal is not to look diversified on paper. It's to be protected in reality. Think of diversification as building multiple pillars under your financial house. The more pillars you have, the stronger the foundation becomes. If one pillar cracks, the house still stands. If you only have one pillar, the entire structure collapses when it breaks. Wealthy people don't rely on luck. They design their foundations so that failure in one area cannot bring them down. That is how they stay rich even when the world falls apart. There is also another layer of diversification that most people overlook: time. The rich invest not only in different things but also at different times. They spread their investments gradually to avoid being trapped by short-term fluctuations. For instance, instead of putting $10,000 into the market all at once, they invest $1,000 monthly over 10 months. This strategy, known as dollar cost averaging, reduces the impact of market volatility and builds wealth steadily. Diversification doesn't mean you will never lose. It means you will never lose everything. It gives you time to recover, to adapt, and to rebuild. It turns disasters into temporary setbacks instead of total collapses. That is why every financially intelligent person respects diversification. It is the line between survival and ruin. In the modern world, technology has made diversification easier than ever. You can invest in stocks, real estate funds, and global ETFs directly from your phone. You can own small parts of companies, lend money through peer-to-peer platforms, or earn royalties from digital content. You can hold assets in different currencies or even cryptocurrencies. The barriers are gone. What remains is your willingness to learn, plan, and take action. Remember this: Diversification is freedom. It gives you control over your destiny. It makes you independent from any single system, company, or government. When one door closes, another remains open. You are no longer a victim of the economy. You become a master of it. Every financially independent person on this planet built their fortune through diversification, discipline, and patience. So never keep all your money in one place. Never let one paycheck, one investment, or one idea define your life. Build multiple income streams, own different kinds of assets, and protect your future. As Warren Buffett wisely said, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your wealth, strengthen your foundation, and make your money work for you from every direction. True wealth is not about how much you make. It's about how secure and unstoppable you become when everything around you changes. That is the essence of financial freedom, and that is the power of diversification. The way number 7, start a small business or side hustle. Quote, entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so you can live the rest like most people can't. Starting a small business or side hustle is one of the most powerful and life-changing decisions you will ever make. It is the gateway to financial independence, freedom, and self-ownership. The moment you stop renting your time to others and start building something of your own, everything changes. You shift from being a consumer to being a creator, from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. As the quote says, entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so you can live the rest like most people can't. That's the truth that separates the dreamers from the doers. Most people want success, but fear the discomfort that comes with building something from scratch. They want control over their lives, but keep giving their time to someone else's vision. A small business or side hustle is not just about money. It's about power. The power to decide how your day goes, who you work with, and what your effort builds toward. Starting small is not a weakness, it's wisdom. Every empire begins as a one-person operation. Maybe you have a skill you can monetize: design, writing, marketing, coding, or teaching. Maybe you can start selling products online or offering services in your community. The point is to start. Action creates clarity. The first dollar you earn outside your job is not just money. It's proof that your potential is real. It's the spark that can ignite an entire business. Every great entrepreneur you admire today once stood where you are now, uncertain but determined. They started with limited time, limited money, and limited experience, but unlimited belief and relentless action. A small business gives you leverage. When you work a job, you trade hours for pay. When you build a business, your systems, products, and marketing work even when you rest. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The early days will test your patience. You'll make mistakes, you'll doubt yourself, and you'll face days when you want to quit. But remember, every challenge you face builds a skill that pays you later. The discipline you build now becomes the foundation for freedom later. The nights you stay up learning, the days you work with no immediate reward, They all compound into results that most people never achieve because they never persist long enough to see them. The truth about entrepreneurship is that it doesn't reward the smartest. It rewards the most consistent. You don't need a perfect idea. You need execution. You don't need investors. You need initiative. Start with what you have. If all you have is a phone, an internet connection, and determination, you have enough. Build something small, test it, fail, improve, and repeat. Sell one product, get one client, post one piece of content that adds value. Then, do it again. Momentum is built through repetition, not perfection. Every small business starts with solving a problem. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. Stop chasing trends and start chasing impact. If your business genuinely helps people, saves them time, makes their life easier, improves their health, teaches them something, or gives them joy, the money will follow. People pay for solutions, not promises. The difference between the poor and the rich is simple. The poor work for money. The rich create systems that solve problems for others and get paid repeatedly for it. A side hustle is the safest path to freedom. It lets you build while you still have a paycheck. You can test ideas without risking everything. You can build at night what will free you during the day. Imagine working on your laptop from home, earning money online, building your brand, and slowly replacing your job income. That's not a dream. That's what thousands of people are already doing today. The internet has made it possible for anyone, anywhere, to start. You don't need permission, a degree, or a huge investment. You just need courage and commitment. Think of your side hustle as your seed. Every hour you invest in it, every mistake you make, every client you serve, it all grows your financial tree. The goal is not just to make a few extra dollars. It's to create something that one day runs without you. A true business is a system that earns while you sleep. Whether it's an online store, a digital product, a coaching business, or a local service, the structure is the same. You build once, then improve it continuously until it runs efficiently without your daily effort. Real wealth comes from ownership, not employment. When you own a business, you control how much you earn, how much you grow, and how you spend your time. No boss, no clock, no ceiling. But with freedom comes responsibility. You must learn marketing, sales, management, and discipline. You must become a student of success. Read books, study those who've built empires, and apply their lessons. You're not just building a business, you're building a version of yourself capable of handling success. Consistency is your greatest weapon. Most people quit when results are slow, not realizing that success compounds quietly. It's like planting seeds. Nothing happens for months, then suddenly everything grows at once. Your business is the same. It starts invisible, then becomes unstoppable. The key is to stay in motion when everyone else gives up. As Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." Every day you show up, you become better. Every failure teaches you what doesn't work. Every small win builds confidence. Your mindset will decide your outcome. The entrepreneur mindset is built on ownership. You take full responsibility for everything. You stop blaming the economy, your boss, or luck. You create your own opportunities. You think in terms of solutions, not excuses. You play the long game. A paycheck pays you once, but a business pays you forever. Every sale you make is a seed that can grow into a forest if you keep reinvesting your profits. Don't spend your first success. Use it to fuel your next one. Reinvesting is how small becomes big. When you earn, don't celebrate too early. Use that money to improve your tools, marketing, or systems. Buy knowledge, hire help, scale your effort. A $100 profit reinvested becomes $1,000 later. The goal is to build momentum until your income no longer depends on your time. That's how money begins to work for you. Remember, the path is not linear. There will be slow months, setbacks, and doubt. But nothing is wasted if you keep learning. Every client who says no teaches you something about your market. Every failed product shows you what people don't want, which brings you closer to what they do. The journey itself builds you. You will develop skills most people never master: negotiation, creativity, leadership, and emotional strength. These skills don't just make you money, they make you unstoppable. A side hustle is the start of your financial transformation. It's your ticket out of mediocrity. It's how you reclaim your time, your vision, and your potential. There is no better moment to start than now. The economy rewards creators, not complainers. The tools are in your hands. The internet has leveled the playing field. What stops most people is not opportunity, but fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discomfort. But fear fades with action. Every step you take replaces fear with confidence. If you want to make money work for you, start by building something of your own. Stop waiting for perfect timing. It doesn't exist. The world belongs to those who execute. The future belongs to those who take small daily steps toward big goals. Your business can be that first step. Start small, think big, and move fast. Let your actions today build the freedom you'll enjoy tomorrow. Because in the end, it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. Your small business is not just a source of income. It's the foundation of your legacy. You can spend a lifetime building someone else's dream, or you can spend a few focused years building your own. One gives you survival. The other gives you freedom. The choice is yours.